Hello everyone, welcome back to Art Therapy with MindSoulMeditations. Before we get started, let's take a moment to take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And another one. Today we are dealing with a topic that is often misunderstood. Let's talk about mindfulness and how it makes it easier to manage our daily stresses and anxieties. Mindfulness refers to a powerful practice that can ground us in the present moment, even when life feels chaotic. It's about cultivating awareness of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. Practicing mindfulness is a wonderful journey, and it's okay if it feels challenging or strange at first. It's about finding ways to tune into the present, quiet the constant chatter in our minds, and gradually develop a sense of inner calm. One common misunderstanding is that mindfulness is about emptying your mind or achieving a state of constant bliss. In reality, mindfulness is about observing your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. It's not about having no thoughts, but rather about changing your relationship with those thoughts. Sometimes traditional meditation techniques aren't enough. AI art can help you visualize and embody mindfulness in ways that words alone can't capture. It can create serene or thought-provoking images that support your mindfulness practice. Engaging with art can be a gentle way to focus your attention and enter a mindful state. Art can serve as a visual anchor, helping you stay present and centered. Also, it can help you imagine a more peaceful state of being, even if it feels elusive right now. Here are some ideas for artwork that could represent mindfulness. A person sitting cross-legged with a soft glow emanating from their heart, representing inner peace and presence. A single dewdrop hanging from a blade of grass, symbolizing focus on the present moment. A serene lake reflecting a clear sky, demonstrating stillness and clarity of mind. A tree with roots extending deep into the earth and branches reaching to the sky, illustrating groundedness and connection. The colors red to brown is also associated with mindfulness, as they are the colors of the root chakra. You could create art with red flowers or red fruit, or use red as a featured color in some other way. These artworks could serve as visual guides on your mindfulness journey. You might use them as focal points during meditation, as screensavers to remind you to take mindful breaks, or just as gentle reminders that inner peace is always accessible, even amid life's chaos. Just creating your art will bring you into a state of mindfulness where you're in the present, focused only on your artwork, and quieting your mind to the day's worries. Remember, practicing mindfulness isn't about achieving a blank mind or being perfectly calm all the time. It's about cultivating awareness and acceptance of whatever arises, moment by moment. There's no timeline for developing this skill, and it's okay to approach it with patience and kindness towards yourself. I hope that your mindfulness journey helps you find moments of peace and clarity in your daily life. Creating art absolutely quiets my mind, and my hope is that others will have the same experience. Our special guest today is artist Christine Ray. Christine was also a speaker on a previous episode where she shared her thoughts on resilience. Today she will share her perspectives on mindfulness. Chrissy is a self-taught creative and New Zealand expat who has a breadth of diverse life and creative experiences spanning 4 countries: New Zealand, England, Saudi Arabia, and South Korea. Chrissy has an inquisitive curiosity for creative and innovative technologies, art, digital media, design, and photography. She is currently passionately exploring AI generative art and filmmaking. Chrissy lives on Jeju Island, South Korea, with her husband Terry and their 2 cats, Keanu and Puck.
Hi everyone, it is my pleasure to share with you my experience with mindfulness and how I incorporate it into my daily life and artistic endeavours. For me, mindfulness is a way of being, a choice to stop, pause, breathe, and truly notice my presence in the world around me. Photography has taught me to look at the world from different angles and perspectives, to focus and to notice details and patterns often overlooked. This visual acuity has merged with my daily life, leading to a more mindful approach. Communicating with others has become more about listening, holding space, showing empathy and compassion. I pay attention to body language and the tonality of voices, making my interactions more meaningful. Creating art is such a beautiful way to experience mindfulness. Being fully present in the creative process is incredibly grounding. Mixing paint, for instance, becomes an immersive and calming experience as I watch the colours blend on the paper. Conveying my feelings through words and allowing them to be presented in the moment, unedited and unjudged, has been profoundly liberating, especially when I prompt for my generative AI art pieces. Travelling and living in various countries has given me the privilege to experience many different cultures, each with its unique rituals and practices that incorporate mindfulness. From the delicate art of ikebana floral arranging in Japan to the serene tea ceremonies in Taiwan, Korea, Japan and China, intricate mandala painting in India to the ancient technique of Aboriginal Indigenous dot painting in Australia, each practice has taught me to be present and appreciate the moment. Engaging with the natural world is a daily ritual for me on the island of Jeju. Walking my cat Keanu around the barley fields as the sun rises and the dawn chorus fills the morning air is such a relaxing way to start the day and cultivate mindfulness. Whether it's forest bathing in the Gotchawal forests, interacting with both my cats Keanu and Puck, or grounding my feet on the earth, a practice common for New Zealanders like me who often walk barefoot. Nature constantly invites me to be present. Watching the sunset, grounding my feet on the lava rocks at Gosam Beach with my husband in complete silence, calming our minds and breath by listening to the waves, or simply observing the leaves rustling in the winds in the forests. Meditating in a mountain rock ravine on Mount Halla while listening to the gentle trickle of a mountain spring, all serve as powerful reminders of the beauty and peace found in the present moment. Nature offers endless opportunities for mindfulness. Children and animals also teach us valuable lessons in being present. Their innocence and capacity for joy in the simplest things reminds us adults to get out of our heads, not worry, and play a little more. Mindfulness is about being more consciously aware, fully embodying our human spirit by being less distracted and more engaged moment to moment. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my art and experiences with mindfulness. May we all find ways to incorporate more presence and awareness into our lives.
So before we do our art today, let's do a visualization to focus our mind and become more mindful in this moment. So I'd like you to take 3 deep breaths. You're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a brief pause in between. With each breath, I want you to feel the tension loosen in your body and feel yourself relax. So let's begin. Pay attention to your muscles as they relax. Feel the tightness let go. So keeping your eyes closed, I'd like you to imagine yourself ascending a mountain path. Each step deliberate, each breath drawing in crisp, thin air. As you reach the peak, the world transforms. Jagged rocks emerge from the mist, their ancient surfaces telling stories of countless seasons. The summit stretches before you, a plateau of weathered stone, wind-carved and timeless. Below you, layers of landscape unfold like a living map. Forests blend into valleys, Rivers thread like silver ribbons, and distant peaks blur into soft horizons. The air is so clear here that the silence feels tangible, like a living presence that surrounds you. Your breath moves like the lightest mountain breeze. Thoughts pass like distant clouds, observed but not attached. Each sensation becomes a universe. The rock beneath you, the wind's whisper, your own quiet presence. I want you to whisper to yourself, I am here, in this moment, perfectly complete, just as I am. The mountain teaches us that stillness exists within movement. You are the awareness. You are solid. You are here. Open your eyes and remember as you go through the day that you are the mountain. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to do a really unique thing today with our art. We've talked about in the past how you can use images as references, but something that many people don't consider is that you can actually use sketches as references. So we're going to create just a big doodle. You're just going to slap something down with ink on paper or with your mouse in a drawing program, and you're just going to be mindful of what you're doing in the moment, and then we're going to take that and create something new with it. So I've opened up Paint on my computer. I have a PC. Any program that allows you to draw will work, or you can actually just do it on paper and take a picture and upload that. I'm going to leave all of my settings at default here in Paint, and I'm just going to doodle a flower, like really rough doodle. And I'm just going to do it all in a single stroke, like really rough, okay? We're just having some fun here, and that's it. That's my doodle, really rough. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm just going to save it as a JPEG. So now that we've made our doodle, we're ready for the next part. So what I'm going to do is click on the image icon in the top where I put my prompt, where it says add images to your prompt. So I'm going to select that. It's going to open up a new menu where I can choose to upload files. So I'm going to grab my picture from the desktop, and there's my doodle. So I'm going to click on it, and that's going to create an image reference. So what I'd like to do today is actually chalk art, which is really kind of cool. So I'm going to use my flower as a guide, and my prompt, because I made a rose, I'm going to go with a minimalist rose. So we've got a mesmerizing minimalist rose composed entirely of a symbiosis of water and waves, constantly shifting and flowing, hyper-realistic on deep black textured paper with soft ornamental shades of vintage pastel pink, blue and cream, chalk, drawing on black paper, illuminated. So that's our prompt, and I'm going to go ahead and run it with my flower attached, and it should act as a guide. So let's take a look. So we can see here the little guide for our image on the side, and we can see the flower. And it loosely follows the image I gave it as a reference. So I could do this if I'm having a hard time getting the placement of something I imagine in my head. I could just do a doodle to sort of give it an outline of how the positioning of the image should go. And it's not really about my drawing being perfect. It's about it acting as a guide. So I'm going to try doing one more just to sort of demonstrate how it helps with the positioning. So this time, and this is going to be again a really rough drawing, Alright, that's a pretty rough drawing. And I'm going to save this doodle and we're going to try our chalk art with a landscape. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to upload my lighthouse this time. So I changed my prompt to a minimalist landscape of a lighthouse with a ship at sea. Oh, I want to change my aspect ratio too. So because I did the last one in a wider aspect ratio, I want to try and make sure it matches so that I don't get any really weird distortions when it tries to craft the image. This one's only slightly better than my own drawing, and it's not quite the same as my image, or neither is that one. They're a little bit too doodly. So what I'm going to do, because they're a little bit primitive, is I'm going to add an image weight. So for image weight, I'm going to do --IW, and I'm going to keep my image weight low. I'm going to do 0.5, and I'm going to add, instead of minimalist, I think I'm going to do elaborate. And I'm also going to add sophisticated composition, formed entirely of a symbiosis of water and waves. And I'm going to change my stylize from 50. Actually, I'm going to go high. I'm going to go to 500. I'm going to try that again. So these are definitely a lot more detailed now. Now my image is reversed from what I doodled, but that's okay. It's still giving me sort of the composition that I was looking for. Here I've got a wave sort of taking over the ship. This one's a little bit simplistic. This one, we've got the ship and the lighthouse sort of together. So I'm going to do it once more, and this time I'm going to change my image weight to 3. So here you can see image weight to 3, it looks a lot more like my doodle. It's gone back to being very simplistic, so you can sort of see the difference. So you kind of want to keep the image weight a little bit low. So I think what we had here is more of a balanced image weight, which is why we really picked up a lot of the doodle. So lowering it down a little bit, we got a little bit of a better composition, and then turning it up too high, we get basically my doodle. Gives us sort of a good look at how image weight works, and at the same time we can see how we could potentially use our own doodles. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to take one that I've done in the past. I'm going to take my Zentangle that I created here. So this is a Zentangle I created a long time ago. So let's try it in a 16:9. So this is what I get with my Zentangle. And this is balance. It's kind of neat. I'm going to grab the prompt again. I'm going to change the stylize up to 500. And I'm going to actually run this one a few times again just so we can sort of see the difference. So stylize 500. This one I'm going to do image weight down to 0.5. And I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to switch it to Niji. So that's a whole bunch of different prompts running. So let's go back and see what we've got. So starting here, this is with a higher stylize. That's really interesting. I actually really like this. This is turning the image weight down. So the next question is, okay, so I've done my Zen doodle. What's my next step? And here we can actually get into doing some styling. So if you do have something that came through that you really like, for example, this one here is kind of neat. So we can either do style references on these, or we can grab the style and use that style to create something new. So for example, let's say I want to work with this one. I really like this. I'm going to grab the style. I'm going to grab the prompt. And I'm going to make something else. I'm going to do a panther. Instead of land and waves, I'm just going to do flowing lines. Soft, ethereal, flow. Yeah,
I think I'm happy with that. So let's see how this works out. We need some aspect ratio. They keep it at 16:9. And we'll leave the stylize at 50 for now, and let's see how that comes out. So another one that I liked was this one here. So I'm going to grab that style, and I'm going to grab the same prompt I just wrote and the aspect ratio, and I'm going to run that too. So my first set of results here for the panther didn't come out, but I'm going to try running it again just to see if it'll come through the next time. My other set did come through better. So I've got this really interesting stylized animal amongst the Zentangles. So I really think that's interesting. That's really cool. I'm actually going to rerun this one more time. And we're still not getting... Oh, here we got a little bit of the panther coming through. So in here too, this is actually starting to go. I might need to add another image just to put in for a style reference. I'm going to rerun one more, and I think I'll grab one of the ones that I already did that sort of came out. Alright, we'll try running that. This is pretty sleek and interesting. Oh, this one's nice. So you see a little bit how sometimes you gotta run it a couple more times because it's carrying over what was in the prompt previously and it hasn't fully adapted yet. But the last set that comes up should be a little clearer because I attached an image reference as well. So those are pretty cool. Oh, this one I like. Sort of like it's curled up sleeping. That's beautiful. So here's a way that we can do some really unique things with using our doodles, using different techniques to bring together a completely unique style and look to our artwork. And then of course we can take it here even further by going into style references. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode and you had a chance to learn a new way of using Midjourney, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, and be mindful and spend some time doing some art today. Today's affirmation is, I am present and accepting of the here and now. Thank you for joining me for another day of art therapy. I hope you enjoyed the session, and I hope you had a chance to create some really amazing art. Make sure to join me again tomorrow, and I really look forward to seeing you there.